I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
This is Snake Envy. We are thrilled to be joined by John from Morph Reptiles, our good friend, and it's been a while, but we've been talking genetics on an earlier video, but as you know, the three of us, we've kind of got our little herping quest at what we're calling Gopher Gulch, a habitat here in northern Utah where there are some very aberrant gopher snakes, Great Basin gophers. We've got a couple of examples here. We're going to show you guys some close-ups of these also. But these are a couple of the finds from this spring. I'm going to link one of the earlier Herping Quest videos in the description, but we just want to kind of update everybody, kind of talk to you a little bit about what's going on, show you a couple of the more recent finds, and maybe talk a little bit about what we think is going on out there and how it came to be. Now, as a reminder, why don't you tell everybody about the photo you got a couple of years ago?
Yeah, so a buddy of ours who's in the snake world, but just as a hobbyist, he had a friend that
Knew that he liked snakes.
knew that he liked snakes, and his friend sent him a photo of this patternless gopher snake crawling over his boot. And he snapped a picture of it, and they both went on their way, and he sent that to him, and of course
We had the GPS coordinates.
Yeah, and the dude sent him the GPS coordinates.
That's the key part. A pin.
Yeah.
And so our buddy, of course, sent that right over to us, and then we just got hot on the trail and went looking for him.
Do I remember it wrong, or wasn't your friend more impressed with the size of the snake, more so than what it looked like?
Yeah.
So he sends you, hey, look at this big gopher snake.
He did realize it was patterned.
Oh, okay, he did. Okay. And then, yeah, you show it to all of us, and we're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. But it happened to be at a time of year when, number one, the snakes aren't very active, and number two, we had herping trips coming up, and different things going on. So we kind of put it in the back of our minds, said, wow, it'd be kind of cool to go see if we could find that snake. What kind of habitat is it? Is it like a needle in a haystack? You go out there.
That's well, you and I.
Well, he goes out there first and he says, guys, it's a dirt road. So, running through this habitat. So he's like, it may not be impossible to find this thing, but we're still thinking that this snake is an aberration, that it's just
we're hoping we just can find that one snake.
And we're pretty confident there's only one. Now,
and we're pretty confident we will be able to because of the road.
Because of the road, we think that gives us
to find that exact is going to be hard.
But it still seems like a needle in a haystack. Now, flash forward to almost 2 years ago. It's coming up on, August 1st is tomorrow. We went out there about mid-August 2 years ago. And you and I and my wife took our mountain bikes out there. He'd already been out there, discovered the road, told us where to go. And our thought was, in the evening, we're just going to treat it like a road cruise, and we're going to take off on the bikes. Now, of course, we unload the bikes. I have a flat tire, so my wife and you take off ahead of me, and I'm walking. What's the first thing you said to me when we got out of the car?
I don't even remember. But I do I'm like.
You said there is no way in hell there's gopher snakes here.
This is not gopher snake. This is not gopher snake habitat. That wasn't.
And I agreed. No.
Yes. One or two, maybe.
We know there's one. But our thought was, for now, it really is a needle in a haystack, because maybe this guy was just passing through. There's farmland a ways off, and we're like, well, maybe he came out of there, and he's no longer here, and whatever,
I wasn't confident at all about it.
We both agreed it's not ideal habitat, but hey, we had a picture, we had a pin. So anyway, my wife and you guys find two. I find two. We also found some garters. So we meet up at one point and we're like, holy crap, there are gophers here.
Yeah.
And they looked very normal, except one was...
The one I found that night had some slight aberrancies
in the pattern, but it wasn't anything
Nothing
crazy.
major. It wasn't even enough to hold on to it.
No. So we go back to John and say, hey, they're here. So we literally spent the next, I don't know, month and a half, six to 8 weeks.
It was a production.
We were out there most every evening walking that road. And we really identified a spot that it may, I don't even know if it's a mile out and back. It might be 3/4 out, 3/4 back. But then, and we found, a snake here and there at first, mostly garters, a few gophers. And then what happened?
The hatchlings.
It went berserk with gopher snakes.
Hatchlings.
We hit the mother lode.
Clutches started hatching.
Yep.
And sure enough, patternless. What we're calling tiger stripe, which is this one. Patterns that were just all over the map. They didn't make any sense. Yeah. There is so much going on out there.
Now, this habitat is not ideal, like for a desert snake. And this is what I think, like there is some inbreeding going on in there, because of it's a microhabitat.
It is.
And
they're confined a little bit geographically.
That's, I think, how this
That's how they become so plentiful. I mean, it had to have started with the one mutation in the beginning, and then because the breeding pool isn't that large out there, they were just they were able to breed in the wild like we would do it in captivity.
Yeah, so Mother Nature's got a little line breeding thing going on, just like you would do.
She's got a little terrarium out there.
Yeah. Now, not only is the geography there unique, and I know this is, some of you might think this is lame, but we're very vague about specifically what this habitat is like because we don't want people hearing about it and knowing about it and knowing
because we don't want y'all going there
and wiping the place
and wrecking
out.
our spot.
Now, here's the other thing. We have talked about the commercial development. There is commercial development happening in that area as well. So the habitat is shrinking.
Yes.
And the habitat is continually being messed with. So our goal after that first fall, where we were just like, holy crap, this is legit. This is a very unique population of snakes. And so our goal in the spring was, well, maybe hopefully we'll find some adults. And we did. That following spring, we were able to collect a few adults.
Males.
Mostly males in terms of the patternless, but we caught snakes breeding, we caught snakes eating, we caught, spring was so active. The following fall, we were hoping to have, another bonanza, but we didn't.
It wasn't.
The weather was different. The terrain had changed a little bit.
Everything was different. The vegetation was different. Everything.
Different.
But I think too,
they were there. We just weren't finding them.
The numbers weren't there, and it's the animals may have not found each other that year. It happens.
Who knows? Yeah.
It was a down year, possibly. Like that happens. Cycles happen.
Yeah. So as I said, tomorrow's August 1st. So that brings us to this spring, where our white whale, we have yet to find an adult female who looks like this guy here. So this is one of the males we found this spring. Pretty decent sized male. We have found some snakes larger than this guy. But you can see that patternless look. You can also see that there's a little of the tiger striping that kind of is underneath of that.
Tipping.
There's a lot of stuff going on. But in general, at a glance, it's a much more patternless snake than you would typically find with Great Basin gophers. That's why we're calling it patternless. This is an example of tiger striping where, you have these alternating stripes, kind of like you do on a tiger. Now, in her case, they're kind of faded out. We've got some other examples where they're much darker. It's possible that she'll end up looking like this, where those stripes are going to continue. So. But I
like to call that the Aztec.
Yeah.
It just kind of has this Aztec-y look.
So these are two patterns that we are hoping to be able to replicate. And we yet to have found an adult female, but we have several females. We guess this girl's about 2 years old. And we have some other females from that first fall. So
we have some aberrant females, though.
Yeah,
I think we have some supers. They're just not like a great patternless version.
We're going to be in good shape here, maybe even this next breeding season. But, Yeah, our white whale, the thing that continues to elude us is where is the female version adult?
Well, that's
version
the
of this?
funny thing is because the majority of the patternless babies that we found were females. So
Yeah.
it isn't some sex link thing to
No,
where
and she has to be out there. We just haven't found
It's
her.
just odds.
Now, I found 2 males this spring. There was actually a smaller one on the exact same day this one was found. So that's what's crazy is we can go out there and we can literally find 8 different varieties of these snakes in terms of color, pattern. They're all different. Like Jason said, there's a ton of unicorns. We've even seen color variations in this place that are unreal. Like,
huge.
Well, and that's very...
for this part of Utah.
Well, northern Utah has, like, I complain about this all the time, but, like, they shouldn't have been called Great Basins. They should have been called variables. Because, like, from Idaho to California, it's a dramatic change.
Yeah.
But you get here in the middle of northern Utah, we're pretty much in the middle of the habitat. And I've seen yellow ones, bright yellow ones. I've seen drab, grays, browns. Like, you see all these colors.
Yeah, within in the same area.
Population.
Yeah.
And that's why I call them, I like, you know, I want to call them variables. And that applies to the Great Basin rattlesnake as well. Like,
yeah. In my experience, though, here in northern Utah, they tend to run darker. And then you got to go into central Utah and southern Utah to start to see that
you're exactly right,
brightness.
Because you go to Idaho, to Idaho, heavy tipping.
Yeah.
It's the elevation.
The heavy tipping's probably because it's cooler. They want to absorb more sun, UV.
Yeah. But here at Gopher Gulch, those bright yellows, we saw one of the orangest gophers I've ever seen. That big male.
When we dove
you
into
and I
the
had to
dead tree.
practically dig out of a tree.
Down a
My
cliff.
wife will never forgive me. John and I are trying to climb back up a hill from where the snake was. And John had been bitten to pieces on one arm. And so here's our poor wives standing at the top of the hill, and they're looking at John all wide-eyed because he's got blood running down his arm.
I'm surprised Sarah wasn't laughing at me.
At that point, I had the snake in my hand, and I'm trying to scramble up the hill, but I need my hands. And so I just reach out and I hand, a snake this size or probably a little bigger to my wife. She grabs it, but I heard about it.
Did it bite her? I don't remember.
No.
Oh, but you didn't even ask her.
I didn't, because there was no way for me to get up the hill without using my hands. And so I handed her the snake, and then I got up quickly, took it back, but I heard about it all the way home. But yeah, the wives are up there looking at your bloody arm and like, oh my gosh. And
I promise it doesn't bite.
I promise.
But he was very, very, very orange. So it's not even just pattern. There is a lot of color variety in this habitat as well. It's an amazing place, and not even just for the snakes.
Well,
the wildlife in general. It's an amazing place. But the commercial development this year has ramped up.
Yeah.
So we're on borrowed time in terms of can we find this female? And we have more luck with the adults in the spring. We have more luck with the neos in the fall. So we'll see. But we're a couple weeks away from being able to go back out. What do we got going on today?
We got a few action today. A few things.
There's a little pop of color.
Variable kings. These are vivid line animals. Some Lucy Texas rats.
It's pretty striking when we go from orange to orange to pink. Soon to be white. And we had a runner.
Oh. Couple. We're gonna have to help some animals in here, like this ghost right here. This happens where their hole isn't big enough, and so See how swollen he's getting choked.
Yeah.
He's getting choked right there. So we just help him out a little bit.
Decides to go back in rather than hurry and escape. So what do we have here? We've got bulls.
These are the genetics are Stillwater hypo and Miami County exanthic going on. So we get some hypos and ghosts in here. This is a hypo, not the prettiest one, but still pretty cool. We're gonna make sure these other ones can hatch out. And then in here, I already know what's hatched. It took like 3 days to hatch. Hopefully you can, oh, there he is. There's a little hognose, that's it.
Quite small. It looks like you got what? Some more bulls gonna hatch in this one?
We got some albino. Oh, we got some Christmas albino. Oh wait, albino sandy Sonorans. One hog made it. Some river roads and some 50-50 calkings in there. So
nice. Okay. Anything else you're anticipating over the next couple days?
We got another cooler to go through here in a second, so we're gonna hit pause for a minute. You ever have those dreams that don't make sense?
Yes.
Like, this is like, I have a handful of experiences in the herping world, and this is one of those spots that's magic.
Yeah.
You're just like, there's no way this is real. Like, this is a dream. Doesn't make sense. This habitat's not right.
Yeah.
Like, it's well, I don't even want to give too much
and
more
it's
away.
also very close to all of us. It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes from where I live, and it's not. We've all joked about it. Yeah,
practically.
We would never have thought to go looking there for gophers.
I never would.
Not in a million
Not
years.
in a million years.
Never.
And so, yes, that's what makes it even more magical. Now, you started to touch on it. So I have two theories. You guys tell me which one you think is more likely, or if I'm just completely off base. It's not only the geography there that's unique, but when you factor in weather patterns around here and things like that, I have two theories. That either a larger population of snakes at some point got cut off from one another, and that's what triggered all this line breeding with a smaller population. But the other theory I have is you could have had, in essence, hets, but they could have been recessive genes, whatever, but maybe two populations got pushed together and got isolated for a couple of years together, and that brought a couple of genes together. What do you think is more likely?
A.
Yeah,
The first one?
I do too.
So it was a reduction in the breeding population.
I think
You narrowed it.
the habitat, the development in the area, it squoze them into a locked into a spot.
To where they could take the ingredients they already had and just make more cookies.
It's just like line breeding in captivity.
Yeah, it's just like the captive project.
Amazing.
And then I think to help speed up the population growth, I think what we're dealing with is exactly the same mutation that causes the anaconda hognose, the motley Great Basin, the motley boa, not the motley corn snake. That's a different thing because that's recessive. But that motley look, I think we're dealing with an incomplete dominance here, which means they're going to breed a lot fast. They're going to reproduce a lot faster in the wild because it's just,
To the numbers we found of aberrants, there's no way it's recessive.
Yeah.
Like the numbers are too high.
Right.
it's like 15-20% of the total population.
It is. And it kind of depends on what you want to call aberrant, because if you just talk about all the motley ones we found, all the
call
ones
that
that
a
have
pattern.
like a 3 or 4 inch stretch where the pattern just kind of
You see
breaks
some
out.
with neck stripes, then blotches, then tiger bands on the back end. Like,
Yeah.
But do you have a motley one here close by? We should have one with us.
Well,
So
that's more of a motley look.
yeah, so a typical wild type Great Basin is going to have pretty crisp, square blotches down its back.
a chain pattern.
This is what I believe is going to be the single copy version of the incomplete dominant homozygous trait, which is this.
That's a super.
This will be a super. This is just a single copy carrier. It has very reduced blotches down its back, to the point where they turn almost into circles and stripes at some point. There's some striping on the neck. And so these are very important, and these are very special too. And there's a lot of these there as well.
There is
but there are also very crisp, blocky ones that I believe are just completely
Standards.
normal.
Oh, there's definitely normals.
So
But you know what's really amazing about this population is the number of snakes that, regardless of what's happening on the body, their head and neck look completely normal. So you can have a completely normal looking head and neck, and then from these neck stripes down,
completely patternless.
it can be patternless. It can be the
But the fact that
tiger
it's putting
stripe. It can be
stripes,
motley. It can be anything.
the fact that it's putting stripes on their neck, that isn't
Yeah.
a Great Basin thing.
That's
I
almost
mean, I
like
don't think
San
But,
Diego.
I
rash.
mean, the one thing that's common is this tipping, like the scalation tipping, which,
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the most desired, but it's just part of it.
Yeah, it's
You can
part
line
of the
breed
look.
it out of it. You put this into an albino or whatever, like it's going to clean it up.
I think I have a couple that's pretty reduced.
Yeah.
Oh, and you were mentioning anaconda, like the dots. I've got a 1-year-old at home, a yearling at home, that's all it is. It's the dots.
Yeah, it looks
on the
like
body.
an
It almost
anaconda
looks like an
hognose.
anaconda hognose.
Yeah,
And
because I think we're dealing with the exact same mutation, just
And-
in a different species.
so it is. It's crazy.
Because with the
there's so
anacondas,
much going on.
no two are alike. I mean, there's crazy stuff.
Well, these guys are snowflakes. Everyone's different.
Yep. So it's an amazing place. We're happy that we can put a project together and see what we can reproduce. I think if we were able to reproduce a clean tiger striping and a clean patternless, and then who knows from there. But if we could get those two patterns out, and then maybe have a locality line, and
We're gonna have.
it's gonna be fun.
We're definitely gonna have a locality line.
Yeah,
and
it's
we're gonna
gonna-
have.
it's gonna
We're
be
gonna have a
fun.
bunch of color morphs as well. Like we're gonna breed
Yeah.
these into all the colors.
yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, I want to throw this out there because one of the things we have talked about is it would be now, yes, we're legally collecting some so that we can, preserve these genetics in captivity, maybe even improve upon them, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the things we have talked about is it would also be cool if we could find a way to relocate some of these snakes to another habitat. Now, the rules in snake relocation, for those who don't know, are kind of centered on the rattlesnake world in snakes that are much more territorial, perhaps, than colubrids. I think we all three kind of agree that you could probably move these guys to a significant difference, and they would a distance, and they would probably survive. But I just want to throw this out there because we have not had any luck locally, and I know a lot of you can appreciate this. Gopher snakes are one of, if not the most common snake in Utah, aside from garter snakes. They just don't pique people's interest in terms of biologists and, herpetologists at universities. I've actually talked to herpetologists at 2 different universities. Nobody's interested in, and we've even talked to the Division of Wildlife. Nobody is interested or has the resources in maybe tracking a few pairs and moving them and then doing a study of how well they do. And we're very confident they would do well. We have plenty of places here in northern Utah where we could move some of these.
Why wouldn't they do well?
Save,
I mean,
They thrive.
You bring them into captivity and they thrive.
and
Why wouldn't they
save.
thrive
I
in the
mean, they
wild?
eat frozen thawed prey straight out of the wild.
They do great.
And they're not territorial like rattlesnakes.
Well,
And
they're not communal like that either. They don't have a
hierarchy
den.
and all
Oh,
of
they'll
that
just take
stuff.
up they'll find their
They'll
own.
do whatever they
excavate
do.
their own.
But if you're a grad student out there, if you're somebody who has the resources, has the ability to do that, we would love to have involve someone who could help us save this very unique population of snakes. Because like these genetic experts are saying, even snakes that at a glance look a little more normal, we don't know what they're carrying. We would love to be able to save these snakes from the inevitable commercial development. So if you're in a position to help us with that, you need a PhD study, for example, reach out. Send us a message on Instagram or Facebook, Snake Envy, and let's talk. Because this is a very unique, very special population of snakes. We would love to save them because the construction that's going on out there, we really, our window keeps shrinking, and we can only take so many into captivity. So let us know. Let us know if you're interested in studying the relocation in colubrids. And the honest truth is it could rewrite the rule book in terms of how professional snake relocators do their job, because they stick to those quarter-mile rules, and it's probably not necessary for snakes like this. So we could probably theoretically save even hundreds or thousands of snakes beyond this population if snake relocators just have, some real data where they can say, hey, we can move these guys 20 miles, and they do just fine. Any last thoughts? Gopher Gulch, we're excited because we're probably a couple weeks here we can start doing some more hunting out there and see what's hatching this fall.
Well, and then next year we
have some pairs that will go.
Yeah, we should have some captive born supers, patternless.
Yep.
We'll find out if our theories are correct.
I mean, with as many as there are, it's genetic in one way or another. It's either incomplete dominant, dominant, and this is absolutely nothing, which I don't think is the case, or it's recessive. It's one of them.
We'll find out. We're going to find out.
Without a doubt. And that adult female, she's out there. We're not, like you guys say, we're not necessarily going to need one of those now, but it'd be cool to find.
We'll find one as soon as we have.
As soon as all
ours
are
that
big
we
enough.
raised up.
Yeah. All right. Please like, subscribe, comment, give us your thoughts on this unique population. It's pretty cool when you find a place like this. And by the way, we're going to show you in a hypo video that we're doing that may hit the week prior to this one, a unique garter snake that we found here in northern Utah as well. Who knows? Maybe we've got another Gopher Gulch somewhere for
Garter
Gulch.
Garter Gulch, yes. We shall see.
We made a deal with the snake gods. We're the morph men now.
Garter goalie.
Yep.
Garter Gulch.
So that snake's going to be interesting as well. Thank you.
Thank you.